Dippy dip dip. Charles, you're such an asshole.
Welcome to another episode of 5 Ages Talking Toys. It's Sunday, and that means it's our topic-driven episode. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video. It's been an interesting week. If you saw our episode last week, then you understand why it's been an interesting week. But let's bring the guys in here. There's Charlie Beansacks.
What's going on, John?
Oh man, it's just been another week, man. Just crazy.
There's more drama coming, so just to let you know.
More drama.
Yeah.
Was there drama?
There's a little bit of drama.
Okay. Chris is here.
Yeah, it's been a depressing week.
Depressing.
Yeah, it's kind of
it's been rough.
It's been kind of sad.
Yeah, it's been rough.
I wish we can go back in time and probably not release that video, but I mean, whatever.
You do what you got to do, I guess, huh?
Oh, well.
And then here's Brandon.
You're so full of shit, Chris.
No, I actually wish that we could not, that we can go back and not release that. I'm not looking to make someone upset. That's not what my plan is ever.
Whose idea was it?
Probably mine.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Coming from the guy that yelled at Shane on one of our episodes and telling him to hurry the.
And I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. So what's the problem with that? I mean, I'm wrong. Okay.
There's no problem, but we thought he was going to log in, and I sent him a text and I asked him, "Are you coming on?" or whatever. And he sent back a message, and I sent it to Brandon. I thought with his sexy voice, he can read Shane's message back. And
well, you weren't even sure if you were coming on. That's why I sent it to him anyway.
Yeah, well, I saw the message. Obviously, Brandon sees it now. Chris and John haven't seen the message from Shane. I don't even know if you're even ready yet, Brandon, but I sent it to you.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
You going to read it live?
Oh,
yeah.
Should we read it though?
Live,
I mean,
right?
let's ask the person who started all this, Chris. Should we read it live?
let's ask the person that started all this.
Yeah, Chris started the whole thing. What do you think? Should we read it?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah. I started it, and I wish we can go back and maybe change things that we did, but in the end, I still think it was
Shane FITT.
Sort of necessary in order to get things to change. So I feel bad, but if things change, then just read the message, please.
I think that messed up my camera because now I'm all blurry.
Blurry.
But we don't need to see you. We just need to hear you.
God, it's like looking through a Swiss cheese, as someone else said last week.
Hello.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Come back into focus.
So from Shane FITT, message from today at 6:21 p.m. From Charlie Bean Satchels. Are you coming on tonight or no? And Shane replies with, "I don't think so. I was going to be on, but I don't think it's a good idea.
You sound just like him.
I'm going to be taking a little time away from the show. I think it's best for myself. I was extremely offended by the video. I thought it should have never been made without me. I didn't get to have my own voice on an entire hour-long episode and was made to look like the bad guy. Not sure why Chris and somebody else completely sided with John, but it is what it is."
God.
I thought we were friends, or at least as close as you could be. I'm not sure what will happen, but the time away may prove to be the best thing for myself and figuring out if this is something I really want to commit my time on.
God.
Okay, so
the gift of gab and the, flapping the jibs even on text message from Shane. So there you go. Very long message.
Very
long
articulate.
And distinguished message back to Charlie Bean Satchels. Charles, did you respond to this or no?
Why not?
I didn't know what to write back.
Oh, well. So I mean, what do you guys make of that? I don't.
Well,
Well, I mean, take it for face value. It looks like he wants to take some time off from the podcast.
Hey, guys.
And here he is.
Are we? Do we have a topic for tonight? Or
I thought you were not coming on.
Yeah, we're like literally in the middle of the episode.
now?
Yes.
You started already?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Shane, we started.
It's already past 9.
Charles is so full of shit. He spent 3 hours making that whole text message.
No,
It took me a
This
long
sounds like a
time.
6th grader wrote it.
I know.
It's in a. He did it while he was on the squad car, sitting in a squad
It
car.
sounds nothing like Shane's voice at all. It's like a 6th grader.
Well, typical Brandon being Brandon. Shane was
Yeah.
supposedly mad at Chris and Brandon. Brandon wouldn't name himself, so he said,
just
I
my
wrote
name.
Chris and an
someone
unnamed
else.
person.
Yeah,
This is somebody else.
such a.
Chris and somebody else.
Oh my god. Well, just like you guys said, last week was my daughter's 11th birthday, and we just had a super busy week. She had her school market, which I been working on with her for like a month. We made 110 jars of pickles.
Oh wow.
She
Damn.
sold $600 of pickles in 2 hours.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And the funny thing is we have about like 20 some jars left, and they're like already sold. Like, so many people have messaged us to tell us how amazing they are and that their kids ate them all and they want like more jars. They want to come to the house and pick them up. So I told her, I said, when the spring comes, we'll have to do like a farmer's market or something. Make a project out of it and go make a bunch of money that she can put away.
Did she do something special to the brine or?
I just put together like recipes. I like looked all around. Like, that's kind of what I like to do. I don't like because I like to cook, but I don't follow recipes. Like, I'll go and like source some ideas or like things that are supposed to go in that kind of a dish.
Yeah.
And then I'll do it to taste, then I'll just play with it. So we didn't do anything
he ain't
special,
gonna
but it
give
was
up.
all fresh stuff.
He ain't gonna give up the goods, man.
No, I know
He's
he's
gonna give you the
not
recipe.
No, I mean, dill, garlic, mustard seeds, peppercorns, sugar, salt.
peppercorn.
Yeah.
We can give you the Aunt Debbie recipe if you want, but not the
Aunt Debbie, who's that?
Little Debbie, whatever the hell.
Little Debbie. Yeah, so my daughter's birthday was last week, so I wasn't on for our recording, and then she had her winter concert at school. She plays the flute and is in the chorus, so it was her very first concert. And then we came home and did dinner and presents like super late, so it was a long day.
What grade
But
is she in?
she's in 5th, so she's going to middle school next
Is this
year.
her first time in the band?
Yes.
In the band? Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they start in 5th grade now.
Yeah,
We used
and
to start in
I think I did. I think I started in 4th grade.
Oh, really?
Like, I mean, I only did it that one half a year, and I
started.
it wasn't my thing. So
Yeah.
but in any case, so it wasn't on because of that. But doozy of an episode last week, guys. So one of you guys, or one or two of you guys, told me that you did the episode and kind of vaguely what the topic was. So I didn't watch it until it was already published. I don't think, or I think it was like Monday that I watched it.
This is probably
I'm
the
like-
only topic only show he's watched in the last 2 years.
Yeah, that especially that I'm not on.
Yeah, he doesn't watch anything.
And and of course, whoever I was talking to was like, "It's not that bad. It's not that bad," and it wasn't that bad. But I'm like 45 minutes in, and I'm like, they're still going. Like, what is the topic of this episode? The topic of this episode is Shane. So,
There was some other stuff.
there was some other stuff. I thought in watching it, I was watching it on the TV, which I don't usually do, because I was
Oh
working
God!
and
So
I just
the
put it on
whole family watched it.
No. It was during the day. I was home
Yeah.
working, but
You weren't at the library?
no. So it couldn't have been. It couldn't have been Monday. No, you know what? I must have watched it before I didn't watch it before it came out because
Maybe you watched it in your in your car on your phone in the middle of the rain?
No, you know what? I didn't watch it on the TV. I watched it on my phone, right, with cell service, right?
No.
So in any case, I'm watching it and I'm like, as a viewer of the episode, and knowing some of the backstory, I'm thinking to myself, I feel like this would have been a lot better if I was on. Not because I needed to chime in or control the episode or anything like that, but it was just, one-sided for an hour and 5 minutes. It was like the longest conversation. So you guys asked me to do a rebuttal, and I messaged I think Chris and whoever and said, you guys are trying to ham it up a little bit. You're trying to make it funny a little bit, but a lot of what you guys were saying was not true. So I said, all right, well, you got your rebuttal next week. And I said, all right. So just
Wildmonsters never speak the truth. So
no. But there was a lot said,
never
and I didn't take notes or anything. I don't have anything to look at to answer to. But one of the major things is the actual videos, right? Like putting the videos up on YouTube, thumbnails, the things that go into setting up a video. And for any of our viewers who have never been on that side of YouTube, I'm sure everybody's uploaded a personal video at some point. But if you're doing it for a business, which I do a bit in my career, if you do it for a podcast, if you do it for a YouTube channel, if you're doing it on behalf of a purpose, not just uploading a family video that you're going to send to your family, there's a certain way to set it up so that has a better chance to be successful, right? Like, whenever YouTube came out, go back, I don't know, 10 years or whatever, it was easy to get kind of found on YouTube. Now there's a billion videos and a billion new ones going up every week. And so you've got to, try to follow some of the best practices in order to get found. So one of the things we've talked about over the last year is, we could do this. We could maybe change the titles to this, or we could put hashtags in it, or we could, do little things to try to improve the videos. So John and I had talked about it, I don't know, a year plus ago. Hey, we could maybe put these words into the title. Maybe somebody will search for He-Man and they'll find our video, because we don't usually post about He-Man, something like that. And at one point, John was like, yeah, go for it. If you have some ideas, I'm going to put up the videos up. I'll put in something. If you think you can improve it, go for it. So at one point I was doing that for like a month, and John, you started getting a little touchy about it at some point. And I said, all right, well, I'm not looking to have conflict or argue about it. It's not really that important. So I backed off. I said, I'm not going to, get into it with somebody regularly if they're, if they feel sensitive about it or whatever, or you just feel strongly about it. So that was, a year ago, 9 months, a year ago, something like that. Right.
Yeah. And this is your rebuttal. So if you want to toss it to me at some point, you can, but I don't want to.
No, chime in. I want you guys to chime in.
But I mean, we did have, of course, there were those things, I was doing silly stuff like, Charles eats some chips or whatever. A bag of some chips. But that's been a long time ago. That was a while back. Anyway.
Yeah.
My whole thing has always been like that, you did it for a little bit and then you stopped doing it. And then you decided to do it again after I'd already put the work in to do the title. I know it's not work, but you know what I'm saying? I had already taken the time to put a title in and a description and all that stuff. And then it premieres, and then you change the title and the thumbnail and the description. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you're right. And to go back to whenever that last period was, so let's say a year ago, what I was doing in the beginning, I think you can agree with this, is I was just kind of going in and fluffing it up. Like I wasn't replacing your description, but I was adding in some extra words, right, some extra toy lines, maybe adding some extra hashtags in, that kind of stuff. So it was light. It was light. Yeah. Maybe changing a couple of words in the title. But no, you were doing that. You were setting up the description and everything. And then at some point, I guess, it kind of started with maybe the trailer things. I started having to do my own thumbnails. And then there was we were each doing a topic, rotating topics. So then I created a thumbnail for one of my topics. And so that's kind of where it just organically started from.
This is the problem. And you can't disagree with what I'm saying. This is the problem. Shane knows how to do all of this stuff. He just doesn't have the time to actually do it. I'm not going to say you don't want to do it. I'm just going to go with you don't have the time to do it. John,
it is true.
John doesn't really know what he's doing, but he has the ambition.
He's trying.
And he's trying to actually do it.
Right.
So that's somewhere right in between is where we should be.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's my. I think you guys will generally all agree. Here's where we've gone wrong recently.
I disagree.
Here's where we've gone wrong recently.
Right there.
And it probably stems from me not having a conversation with John. That would have been pretty damn helpful. But I told Brandon and Chris this in New York City when we were together all day long. Just bullshitting. Shooting the. I said. We need to have thumbnails that you can read, at this size. And you guys everybody who's watching this has, iPhones or whatever. You go on YouTube on your iPhone, the thumbnails, Google, Google phone, whatever. The thumbnails are tiny in certain areas on YouTube. You're scrolling, it's trying to suggest things to you. The thumbnails especially on a channel, if you go to a channel or a playlist, the thumbnails on a playlist are tiny. And if you're using, green type and the background's really busy and you just can't read it smaller, it's lost. There's nothing grabbing the person from click to click on it. So I was saying to these guys, we could make really simple thumbnails that have large text that you can read at different sizes. They don't have to be super sophisticated. They just have to be clean and kind of repetitive. Pick a style, go with it for a little while, switch it up, go with it for a little while, just kind of carry that through. And what I was saying to them is it doesn't have to be heavy lifting. I know Chris loves to say that he doesn't do computers. He doesn't know so many people in the world use Canva. I did not like Canva. I didn't know how to use it until recently because I use all these fancy art programs and it is not set up like that at all. So I had to kind of learn where everything was, learn, how to do it. And I just did it. What I told these guys is I want to set up a handful of templates in Canva. And then when you have a new episode, wins and whiffs, whatever it is, you just go in there and change some of the type. The type is live. You can click on it and then change it to say whatever you want. You change the episode number, you drop a toy photo on top of what's already set up. So I was just trying to say to them, this could be really easy. You could create a thumbnail in 5 minutes. Just pick one that we have, change the color of the bar, change the color of some of the text, and type what you want. And boom, you got a new thumbnail. 5 minutes.
So John, what do you say to that?
What do you mean what I say to that? I don't think there's a problem with that. That's never been my problem.
And that's where I started. I said, we can make this really easy for John.
For the viewers, the problem is, and then John said, okay, Shane, then do it. Shane said, okay. And it lasted for a week or two, and then it stopped.
That's the problem. That was my whole thing, was
that was the problem.
We value what Shane does with his innovation and his creativity for it, but it doesn't last longer than 2 weeks. And then we get stuck with nothing. And then when we try to publish something for Patreon or on the page, 2 weeks ago, it shows up with no thumbnail and no title.
Correct.
And it looks like crap. You know what I mean?
And then that's what I was thinking in my head. I'm like, is there a way where John gets all these videos done on a Sunday, and then Shane's alarm will go off on Monday in his phone, and he knows at this one time of the day, once a week, he can just go on, spend maybe 15 minutes, do what he needs to do for that week, and then it's done. And then the following week, his alarm goes off again on a Monday at 2:00 during the day, maybe while he's working, and he knows to spend 15 minutes on the Wins and Whiff and the Sunday podcast for that week, and he's done. Isn't there a way that we can just do that?
Yeah, and where this would be much better, and it's not, you can't wave a magic wand, but the behind the scenes, story is we're like right up against it right now. We have times of the year where we're like 4 weeks in advance, right, John? And then there's times where we're 2 weeks, 1 week. Right now, we're recording this
the same
on
week.
a Wednesday night, and it's going live in 3 days.
Yeah.
Now, John doesn't edit this video until Saturday morning. I mean, he's working from 7 in the morning until 7 o'clock at night most days, maybe even longer. So you're targeting Saturday morning, which it's the weekend, like that's reasonable and everything. But this episode is going to turn around and go live at 6 p.m. What if I'm gone for the day or whatever? I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying it's so easy to like go, shit, I didn't do that thumbnail. John just had it, ready, 24 hours ago, and now it's going live. So as we move forward, if we kind of get caught up again and we're, 2-3 weeks in advance, much, much easier to manage. But that's not an excuse. I'm just saying a fact. If we get ahead, we won't run into that again, I don't think. But, look at our page now. I'm just sharing, our page. Can I resize this? Let's see. I'm sharing this, and it's got just some random videos. But, here's like our Star Wars guide. Like I methodically went through all the way back to what did we start, a year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, it looks great.
And just redid all of them so that they match and they're different colors so that you can realize they're totally, they're different episodes. There's these are the episodes of the Sunday night episodes. I went forward and I went backwards a little bit and redid some of them. And Wins and Whiffs, have had a little bit of a different look here and there, but pretty consistent, being able to, read them and stuff. And then you go back to 2 months ago and, they were different, which is totally fine. Not going to go all the way back, it's not necessarily to do that, but I wanted to go back for, this series so that when you go and you click on this and you see the playlist, it's like we actually created something, right? Like there's actually a series here. So I think this came out pretty nice, but
yeah,
the titles and stuff, we've joked before about that. Let me just take this off the screen. We've joked about the titles before, and it is funny, saying like Charles eats a ham sandwich or whatever it is. But the truth is we're doing Wins and Whiffs, and if we're showing a Marvel Legends figure, Chris is showing a vintage G.I. Joe lunchbox. Brandon's got an Aliens thing, and Charles has the newest Lego set. Like, we got to try to get those toy names or toy line names in the title, in the description, obviously.
Yeah, because no one's searching a ham sandwich.
Right. Yeah, like, we want to be found not just on YouTube, but on Google. Like, somebody searches on
stops
Google.
At Boosie's and has a ham sandwich.
Well, when I did that, though, is when that person didn't have a win, and then I put something goofy in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
one thing I thought, I'm going to probably stir it up here a little bit, but one thing I said to myself that I'm going to say is, these guys like to stir it up. Charles, Christopher especially, Brandon as well.
Christopher especially.
Me. This idea of this whole episode was not mine.
Not the episode, but listen to what I'm going to say. And
Number
John,
two,
this isn't to.
It's Charles. No, Charles Don King Wildminster. That's
these guys.
I backed you.
Have issues with the show throughout.
I backed you as much as possible. That episode.
I know. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying
the man speak.
You like the drama. You like to stir it up. All of you. I'm saying all of you.
Charles,
I would actually just like to see the result of what they stir.
I would rather you and John have zero drama like you did last year.
Right.
I think Chris would say the same thing, and so would Brandon.
But
we don't want the drama anymore.
Some one of these guys at different times. One of these guys, different guys at different times, have had issues with something. Oh, look at the title of this video, or look at, John didn't bleep this out, and listen, it's a hard job to edit all these videos. It's a thankless job. You've put in endless amount of hours in 4.5 years. no one is taking that away from you. Like this show does not exist without John editing all these videos. The whole show was John's idea in the first place. But these guys go to each other, or they come to me, and then they admit they're scared of John. They don't want to bring it up. I don't want to start with John. I don't want to get into it. John's going to flip out. I don't want to deal with that.
Jane, there's not one text from me saying I'm scared of John. I did not send that out.
So they come to me, and they know that I'm a loudmouth. And there's been so many times where I've said to them, guys, I'm not going there. I'm not bringing it up. I've brought it up in the past. I've suggested it. And it's not like detrimental stuff. It's just stuff that we all want to improve the show. So somebody might have an idea, and somebody might have brought it up. And then, maybe we do it once or twice, and then things get reverted or whatever. Everybody has suggestions, but not everybody speaks up for whatever their reasons are. I don't want to get into it. I just want to record and get off. And I most of the time I say, I'm not bringing it up. John hates me enough as it is. If you guys feel that way, you got to bring it up. Don't come to me and make me bring it up, because he doesn't want to hear it from me. He's heard enough.
John literally got mad at me probably the last week or two, because he asked me if I felt like if he was wrong or right. And I told him that he wasn't being nice enough to you. So I'm not really scared to bring things up to John, but I will certainly skirt the line when it comes to John. Correct. Without a doubt. Listen, because I don't want to offend anybody, but the two of you guys were friends when I
want to say this. I love John.
I love Shane.
I love John in person. It is hard to get along.
Yeah. Hey, mine is unconditional, man. My love for you is unconditional.
You two were friends when this show started. You two were friends at the show, who then met the three of us by accident. You guys brought the show together. So to see you guys acting like this, like, no offense, is just it's hard to fathom.
Right, and
you guys cannot work together after 4 years. Well, we can't find a happy median here. All we're saying is find your happy median. That's it.
Right. The point is that everybody here wants the number one goal of seeing this podcast succeed, and we all have different opinions on how to do that, because there's 5 of us, and managing 5 different personalities is a hard thing to do. So, but everybody has the same goal in mind. We want to see the podcast succeed, right? So when somebody does something that's maybe not going to work as in a title description, some of us might be like, hey, maybe we can change that now. And that's fine. And we all have to live with that, right? John has to live with the fact that Shane changed the title, and it is what it is. Now, maybe Shane could have gone about it a different way and told John, like, hey, I'm going to change your title, and this is why. Do you have any issues with that? And if he does, it'd be like, well, I really think we need to, vote on it and talk about it as a group. Since there's 5 personalities, like, we need to figure out what the best way to go forward with it is. And we need to set your egos aside and just say, all right, well, this guy's got it. And yeah, it looks pretty good, because John did admit that, yeah, it does look better. And that, some of that stuff's good. And overall, I think that's the ultimate goal. And I just think that everybody is just getting their stomped on here and was getting butthurt about it. So that's what I think.
The whole deal is like this. I told Chris this the other day. I said, it's like I get up in the morning and I pour a bowl of cereal and I go to get the milk out of the fridge.
I love this one.
And Jennifer has changed it to soy milk or almond milk. And I was expecting cow's milk on my cereal. Not that she has to ask me permission. Not that she has to even say, just, hey, by the way, I'm going to change to almond milk. Be prepared. You know what I mean? Because I expected. What?
She's trying to make you healthier.
All right, it's a metaphor. All right, so
next thing, it's not Frosted Flake, it's Corn Flakes.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, I was prepared. I'm not averse to change, but I am a little averse to being surprised. You know what I mean?
I agree. I would be the same way.
As we've all said, John's not right and John's not wrong. Shane's not right, but Shane's not wrong. They both just went about it. I think, me personally, they both have gone about it in wrong ways. But they're not wrong. Neither one of you guys are wrong.
I expect, if something has changed, I'd like a heads up.
And I want to make it clear to just if whoever's watching this stupid episode, who cares about the show? It's probably a few people that we know. I just want to make it clear. I am not under the false impression that everything I say is correct, or it's my way or the highway, or the way that I do it is right and everybody else is wrong. It's not that case.
That's not my case either.
I'm trying stuff.
That's how I am. So.
Nobody has the YouTube or the Google formula. That's been a known thing forever. Like Google has a secret algorithm. They change it all the time. Part of my day job is working with people to figure out how to get my clients' businesses found, because it changes multiple times a year. So finding that secret sauce is like a never-ending quest. So
Whoever
this
that
is
guy
just us trying to find something that gets us more views.
So the guy that somebody commented on that was making $300 an episode on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
M&R.
He was complaining that he was getting 350, but now he's getting 300. That guy has found the secret sauce. So whatever that guy's doing,
he was complaining because he actually buys a Lego set for $400 and he opens it and he's like, "Listen, like I just opened a $400 set. I only made $300 off it. I lost money." That's his thing.
But how long has he had a channel?
Since he was a little kid.
Okay.
You got to be at this for 17 to 24 years before you can be successful on YouTube. That's what Chris told me anyway. I don't know.
Bing keeps on moving the number up. It was 3 to 5. Now it's 17 to 24.
You guys promised me that in 4 to 5 years we would be doing something here, and here we are recording episodes about arguing over thumbnails.
Because as we started,
it's not just thumbnails, Shane.
Well,
YouTube is killing the commission and the royalties more and more as time goes on.
Of course,
I think they want less people making videos, and they want more of those bigger influencer guys putting out more videos.
Oh, because it's more advertising dollars
and
for them,
giving them more money than having all these little people making videos.
They want quality, not quantity.
10 to 12 videos a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've revealed this before. It's not a secret that we're looking to keep. We've been putting out 10 to 12 videos a month for I don't know how long now. We on a good month we crack $25 between all of us. Like literally at the end of the month, it's usually about $22.40.
Well, Shane, we're cashing you out and we're changing the password. So
please don't threaten me with a good time.
But the thing is, you hear a lot of people talk about until they get to a point where they're more widespread and more people are seeking them out. The moneymaker is Patreon.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Because you have support from people on a monthly basis who support your channel, who support what you're doing, and that's another thing that's been the past couple weeks or month or two or whatever, however long it's been, is that we owe it to Patreon, to the patrons of Patreon, to get the episodes out in a timely manner with a thumbnail, with the description, and with the title, and a professional, because they're the ones who are paying us.
Without Patreon at this point, let me know if you guys disagree. I don't know that we would still be doing this show without Patreon, because that helps support.
I'll be sitting here by myself.
But it helps support the show. The show costs money to do.
It does.
It's not $1 million, but I don't know that we would still be doing it without the encouragement that comes from the Patreon supporting us.
The streaming service alone is $800 for the year. If you're making $25 a month on videos, do the math yourself, guys. Like, we're already negative 500.
And I'm sure there's plenty of people that are happy to pay that because they enjoy doing it. It's their hobby.
Correct.
And this is a hobby for us. We enjoy doing this, but to quickly hit on some of the other things that were talked about, recording every week has gotten difficult for some of us. John loves it. John does not have little kids. John loves getting on here. He loves seeing our pretty faces. But the rest of us all have kids, under the age of 10. And, as we've been doing this show, I've gone from having a 4-year-old to an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old. And they're in an activity 5 days out of the week. It's busy. We're busy. It's hard. I think you guys have said it. We would love to record 2 or 3 times a month. If we could record every other week, that would be great. But it requires more of a commitment. You're not going to be able to record for 1 hour. You've got to record for 2.5 hours. Then, if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Speaking of lack of commitment, somebody just bounced.
He's not. He's not. He's flashing the pan. So one thing that we can we're not going to talk about all this now, of course, but behind the scenes we can continue to talk a little bit more about some sort of a recording schedule that might work a little better. Recording and getting ourselves with some stuff in the can, give ourselves a little bit of a cushion. That's an easy thing to talk about. Less easy to do, but easy to talk about. And that whole Chris was all hopped up on AI on that video, and I was laughing and chuckling. He's like, Chris just says Shane waves a magic wand. He waves his magic Boosh rifle, and everything is AI in 10 seconds.
You said 5 minutes. You said 5 minutes even before.
Right.
I could do it in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
What I was
so
saying with,
easy.
Canva is we could set it up in advance, and then per episode, it could be a 5, maybe 10-minute thing.
Okay.
But the actual setup of the videos, coming up with the title, writing the description, putting the hashtags together, creating that chapter list. I don't look down below on this video.
That's a lot of work.
A chapter list. That's a lot of work. Coming up
that
with
means Shane
timestamps.
actually watches the video.
Coming up with the timestamps, coming up with whatever the toy or the topic is at that moment, trying to get those things. Because what I read is that Google really pays attention to the chapter list. They identify spots in videos that are about specific topics, and they could be wildly different topics. So your video might be called Going on a Toy Hunt. But then if you talk about, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at 18 minutes, Google might not have served up your video just with the title Going on a Toy Hunt. But if somebody's looking for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Google will actually serve up your video at that minute marker. Like, we'll start playing it at 18 minutes for the person searching for it. So that's why we're trying that out. It sounds like it's really important. It just takes time. So it takes a half an hour to set up every one of these videos. And I'm not even uploading the video. John's uploading the video.
Well, then there you go.
Title, all the things connected. It takes time. But if we get ahead of ourselves, we'll find that time. It doesn't have to all be, last minute. But that's it. I mean, I think this has been long enough. I don't have any hard feelings or anything. It was a long episode. I felt like it could have been either shorter or I should have just been on it. But I'm happy to. Chat with
nothing is new here. We've been saying the same things over and over and over again. We've told John before that the titles will probably need to be better, and it is what it is. And now I think we're doing better with the titles now. I mean, me and Chris told you, Shane, when we saw you in New York, we really enjoy the work that you're doing, but
oh yeah, we
just wish it was more consistent, more than just a week or two, and then then they're not, it's not put out anymore. Like the thumbnails and the titles, and John was like, well, that's Shane's job now, because he was assuming that you were going to continue on doing that because you were doing it and it was a good job with it,
Well, let me tell John this, because sorry to cut you off, but I admittedly did not talk to John about this or speak to him directly, which was a mistake. But what I had told you guys, I'm not going to tell John. What I was really interested in doing was not pushing anybody out or taking over. I was just saying, let me try to fool around with this Canva because I have a login from work. I've used it a few times. I'm not great with it, but it's a free tool that anybody could log into and could edit something that already exists. That way you don't have to learn how to put it together. You could just click on the box of type and type whatever you want. You could drop a photo in there, drag and drop, and just replace the toy. So what I was saying to them is let me play around with this and see if I can come up with something decent that I like. And then it could be available for any of us. Not that we're all going to be jumping in to log in, but anybody could go in there and make a thumbnail in 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That was my goal. It wasn't for Shane to like take over, but then, then John, I think, reacted a certain way, which was fair. And just decided this is now Shane's job. So I was kind of chuckling. I said to one or two of you guys, like, I guess this is my job now. I'd never volunteered for this, but I didn't express to John. John was totally blind. I should have expressed to John what I expressed to Chris, that, hey, I can maybe set something up to make this easier for John or for Brandon or whoever else has to jump in and lend a hand any given week. I'm happy to do this, but if we can get a week or two, in advance and give me a little bit more time, it'll be easy.
And from Chris and my standpoint, we don't care who does what and what is going on. Like, we have deadlines we need to make for Patreon stuff and deadlines we need to make for the podcast. And when we don't know who's got the information and who's putting it out, we're like, okay, so like, what are we doing here? And I get PMs about like, hey, I don't have the latest episode up. Like, where is it? And I'm like, well, it's not ready to go because it's just not. So,
yeah. Well, we're not going to.
And I know everyone's busy and John has to edit it. And John does an amazing job editing it. And he spends a lot of time crushing that. And John is the visionary with this whole thing, and he puts the episodes together. So John does a really good job doing that. But it's just not easy for him. And he's very busy to do that. So there's only certain times. And he always sends me a text like, hey, the next episode is up. All right, cool. So then I put it on Patreon. But lately it's been the next episode is up, but yet there's no thumbnail or title.
Right.
And
this past week was there was a little extra flavor, a little extra spice in the recipe of I wasn't on. So I didn't know what toys were shown on Wins and Whiffs. And like, I didn't really know what the topic was. And it was like, oh, it's, behind the scenes. And I was like, oh, okay. And there was a short window. No more excuses, but we'll fix this. We're not going to bore anybody that's watching this with any more details, but John and I will work out a process, and I hope so. And that'll be it.
Yeah.
Right now I'm using, like the Canva account I have. I'm happy to share that password too, but I think I just got charged for it today. I signed up for the paid version for like $15 a month because it unlocks all extra graphics and abilities.
You can put that on your work account.
No, it's on my it's attached to my PayPal, but I think we got 30 days free. So I've already been using all those extras to make the stuff that you've seen. Mm-hmm. So in any case, that's it. I think my major mistake was not chatting with John at some point and filling him in on what my motive was. And, that definitely got misinterpreted, which makes sense.
We appreciate both of you guys on the show. And, we can't do it without either of you two guys. So we just, from what I'm saying, like, I hope you guys can figure it out and we can move on past this because we do have a podcast to run and a Patreon page to run as well. So
and a sales page
which I mean, neither of these two guys are on the sales page, Chris. It doesn't really matter.
No, but it's there when they want it to be, though. So when they finally,
I want to be on there.
They finally decide to sell their junk, they have do it for free.
When John stops looking at
John, get Brandon, Get Brandon to sign up for a new Facebook account from California.
I am so sick of tired
and
of hearing John
give
cry
you the
about
login information. Like, have him do it for you.
It's so easy.
And then just give you the login.
But here's the thing: what if they? I don't want to be responsible if they link it back to me and then see. You know what I mean?
But it's not going to be linked to Brandon.
What are they going to do? They're going to call the police to come to your house?
Well, they haven't yet. So obviously, it's an unfounded accusation.
Wait, did you hear that? Charles is coming to get you.
I apologize for my hot-headedness, but my hot-headedness comes from a place of passion.
You have a hot
not
head.
anger.
You have a hot head.
Hey, shut your mouth! I'm talking.
Exactly.
No, but I mean, it comes from a place of passion, not anger. I'm very. I mean, it's like.
Yeah, we get it.
But never mind. I'm kidding. Yeah. No, but I mean, it really does. It's not, and I don't hate Shane. And even though Chris says I do, he says it all the time.
Well, listen, I mean, John and I haven't seen each other for a little bit, but we saw each other back in April or so.
And we made out.
On my way home from my vacation with my kids and wife. And we stopped and had lunch together. It was fantastic. Yeah. You know, John and I, we don't need any kind of warm-up period or whatever when we see each other. But when you're online and once we get on these videos, everybody's cool. But during the day, I'm swamped. John's swamped. He's up, on a ladder or whatever. It's hard to communicate when everybody wants to communicate. You know, I know you guys were joking, like Shane never talks, he never responds. I had to, like 2 years ago, put my phone on focus during the day, like a work focus, where the only people that can get through my phone are my wife, my mother, and my kid's school phone number. They're the only ones that can call me or text me. Everybody else is blocked. And it's just because I am so distractible that if one of you guys texts me during the day at 1 o'clock and I'm on a deadline, I will miss the deadline because I'll start talking to you. And so I had to do that for my own sanity because I couldn't deal. I'm like, a squirrel runs by. I'm like a dog, like, whoa, what's that? What's that? Next thing I know, 45 minutes went by that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to, so. All right. Enough of all of this. I love you guys. We're going to continue on. We're going to figure this out.
So the show is still live and active.
Show is still live and active.
This is our last episode.
Yeah, this is however, this is the last episode.
It's the finale. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. All right. Well, Charles has to get up early in the morning. He signed off. We knew that in advance. He was going to dip out. But there you go. There's the rebuttal. Was really more of a conversation, I hope.
There it is.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We appreciate all of you. The folks who are probably still watching this episode are our patrons who actually, know us and follow the show. Thanks for sticking with us, and we'll try to cook up some more drama for you in a couple of months.
Correct.
Next drama.
Week. After the holidays.
After the holidays. Yes. Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Charles will find something. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, he's so full of it. I don't want any drama. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Just talk to my whole family. They'll tell you.
He was on your side the entire time, Shane. Don't worry.
Yeah. Until
good cop, bad cop.
Until minute 46, and then the last 20 minutes went out the window. All right. All right. Thanks for watching. We appreciate all of you. Subscribe and comment on this ridiculous episode that has nothing to do with toys.
Nope.
Back to our regularly scheduled programs next week.
Absolutely.
Bye.